All right, Paul here. I'm out here today shooting a video, and I thought I'd bring you along. So for years in traditional, I've had a super low anchor point. So I would draw back, and my anchor point would be bottom of my first finger, index finger, corner of the mouth, and it works really good for me and back tension and getting in my back and things like that. The problem is when you go from shooting like say bare bow class to a traditional class, or even like a longbow class, the gaps for me with that anchor point and the arrows that I would shoot, the combination between the two, the gaps would be crazy. For say 20 yards, I have almost a 24-inch gap sometimes, depending on, unless I just shoot a stupid heavy arrow, which then isn't forgiving if you misjudge yardage. Anyway, I've never really tried to adopt a high anchor, so I've watched a couple of really good shooters in traditional classes, and it's just to see where their anchor points was. I remember Ryan Crouch years ago I think still has the trad world's record for the highest score ever shot in any class. And his anchor, I mean, he would shotgun that arrow right under his eye. So I thought maybe I would give that a try. I have a DOS HT21 set up in there, recurve. I tried it with it last night, and my goodness, is that sight picture good. My point on went from 34 yards with that to 25, and 20 yards is like an inch under the belly of the deer. It's crazy good. So I wanted to try it with this longbow this morning, and just to see if I could maybe get a better gap profile with longbow. So I'm gonna turn the camera around and we're gonna try it. Shooting Paul Jelani Leaks. These are, I don't know what spine they are, whatever he made me for this bow, which match perfect. It's a Tolkien whip with a 10x grip. You see the number on there, it's 46 at 28. I'm pulling it like 39.99 pounds, it's almost 40. And we'll see what happens. Before, my gaps were probably, with the low anchor, they were probably, 10 to 15 inch gaps at 20 yards, which is not terrible, but I think it could be better. So I'm at 20 yards right here. I'm gonna shoot at this deer right here, and we're just gonna see what kind of groups we can achieve, or accuracy we can achieve with shotgunning that arrow up under the eyeball. I mean, try not to shoot my dog. Hold on just a second. All right, she's gonna be really slow. Come on, let's go. All right, here we go. 20 yards. Goodness. One more, just to make sure it's not two good lucky shots. Okay, I messed that shot up. One more. I plucked that one. My goodness. Alright, I don't know if you can see that or not, but that is 3 10 rings and 1 pluck. I'm gonna go get my arrows real quick. I'll be right back. I gotta talk about this for a second. Okay. That was, I mean, they were wadded down there. You seen it. That one was a 5, but that was me. I like this. That was 20 yards, and that fellas was point on at 20 yards. I have never had that before. But I've also never tried to shotgun an arrow under my eye either. I have been, for the longest time, for the last several years, tried to find a setup that was forgiving for my short draw length, 26.5 T-Rex. I have no draw length at all. So I was stuck between two options. I could either shoot a really heavy arrow to get that point on down and a low anchor, or, well, because I just hadn't decided to change an anchor or thought about changing an anchor that drastically, or I could shoot a bare bow and just put the point where I wanted to. That was like my two options that I had. Light arrows, so I could gain a little forgiveness in, you know, speed without loss of trajectory. Because at my draw length in a heavy arrow, say 450 plus grains, maybe a little heavier, say 500 grains, somewhere in between 455. If I misjudge yardage, which, I mean, I judge yardage, I don't try to instinct it, you know, I just that's not how I shoot. If I try to judge yardage and if I'm off 2 or 3 yards, it's not great with a heavy arrow in my draw length, that combination. So I would go to the lighter side of the arrows. And then I have a gap that's, you know, this big from the center of the 10 ring under the deer. And I'm going to tell you, that's really not a great sight picture when you're trying to mentally hold things together in competition to try to figure out if that's 23 yards and it goes from, you know, here to here, or if it's, you know, 25 yards and it goes from here to here. It wasn't great. So I either had something way crazy too heavy or way crazy too light and big gaps. I think I found the combination to give me the best of both worlds. I still have my light arrow and my speed, and I have manageable gaps. So I'm going to, I know that competition for longbow's 25-yard point on, so I need to work on that a little bit. I want to try to find a point on that's in between 20 and 25. That way I'm holding top of the 10 ring to the bottom of the 10 ring type of situation, if that makes sense. And good night. If I can find that, that's going to be money. All right, I'm gonna shoot another group. Let me shut up, turn you around. All right, here we go. I moved my knocking points a little bit. So I would have just a hair bit of gap at 20 and not exactly point on. Moved them a little bit more. All right, here we go. I mean, that is good to make that speed. Another. That's crazy. Experimentation over. That's another 3 10 rings done. I'm gonna keep messing with this. I'm gonna try some different string combinations. I've got silencers on here. I might try to make another string, maybe with no silencers, just to see if I can get a yard or two more. Maybe come down. I don't know. I don't want to change that anchor because it feels so good. I mean, I'm literally, let me show you the anchor. I'll shoot one for you on camera. Turn you around so you can kind of see where my anchor is. Uh-oh, dog's eating grass, choking. Go figure. Bring you back here where I'm at 20. I never thought I could do this comfortably. I was wrong. All right, here we go. Go back to 9. Down. Right there, bottom of the 10. I might have creeped out the bottom of it a little bit, but my goodness, that feels really, really good. So, moral of the whole little short video, if you have a really short draw length and you're having a hard time finding that balance in between a heavy arrow to get your point on down or light arrows to get the forgiveness of the short draw length, try going to the lighter side of the arrows or somewhere in the middle and just moving that anchor up, and that'll creep them gap sizes down and give you still the benefit of the speed of the lighter setup. All right, this is Paul Helm signing out. Y'all shoot straight. God bless. All right, so first video I was covering the new anchor. Now I'm trying to see where I need to hold to hit 25 yards for the max distance of the longbow class in most organizations. Of course, Ward Archery's crazy and they want 33-yard longbow shooters, which is fine, but everything else in the world is 25 yards. So I'm gonna hold this top of the insert just to see it. I'm shooting at a and I'll turn you around. I just want to get a couple of form video thingies, whatever's, but I'm shooting at a pig. Done. Okay, top of the insert, not going to quite cut it. It's just low. Still maybe an 8, flirting with that 5 low. So I'm going to have to probably hold top of the back, which is fine. Mia! My dog loves to explore. Done. Yes, perfect. I'm just kind of, and they're just dropping right in there. So basically, I'm on animal with this setup from 20 to 25. 15, I'm probably still on animal. And we're gonna find that out in just a second. Yes. Top of the back might be a scotch too much. Come down in between top of the back and top of the insert. Don't find it together, guys and gals. Okay, go down there and get them arrows and we'll find 15. Okay, 15's right here. So that was a little low. I was holding just on outside the bottom of the insert, and I don't have to hold that low. So I'm thinking bottom of the 10 ring is going to be money, which is going to be stupid good. Man, this is going to be good. Holding in the insert basically for every shot from 15 to 25. I shot another round off camera at 25, and top of the insert was good. Hold on, let me yell at my dogs. Get out of the woods. Cooper, Mia. All right, here we go. Bottom of the 10 ring. Get back in there. Done. I mean, that is as money as you can get. That's a center punt 12 right there. Holding bottom of the 10 ring, 15 yards. I've been missing out for years on this little tidbit. I've never heard it told by anybody else. Done. 10 ring. Bam. I'll go get them. I'll be right back. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go inside now. Now that I have my gaps and they're exactly what I need them, I don't have to make another string, I don't have to do none of that. I can take this setup, these Paul Jelani Elites, I'm gonna get a weight, a total weight for you in grains, give you the error setup. I'm gonna do another short video inside, tie all these together, and what I'm doing on the whole setup, my draw length, my poundage that I'm holding, the arrow grains, the tip weight, all that. So maybe you can kind of like, based off of that, kind of formulate your own little routine or your own little setup like that. And I'm telling you now, it's gonna be a score increasing setup just by merely changing my anchor. I don't know if I just didn't pay attention over the years, or I was just stubborn over the years and didn't hear it, or what. But I'm here to tell you, I could always shoot better than I scored most of the time gapping. I felt like I could. Well, now I think I'm going to be able to. So we'll see. Rest of this summer, I'm going to shoot either this or that off the shelf gapping. I'm going to see if I can do a lot better with it than I used to. Barebow, I'm fine. It's easy peasy. Crawl down the string, find your yardage, guess it, shoot it, no issues. This is going to be a lot more fun for me though, I think. We'll see. All right, I'm going to do, we'll get inside, I'll see you in there, and I'll give you all the information. All right, so these are Paul Jelani Elites, like I said. I've got 3 fletch, 4-inch 3 fletch, or no, 3-inch 4 or 3-inch 3 fletch. Let me make sure. Hold on. Let me get a tape measure. All right, so they're 3 fletch with 4-inch feathers. I'm using the Marco Snap Knock. I love these. They are way better than your Bonin Classic knocks or any other wood knock that I've used so far. They're top hat 100 grain points. Pretty sure. I'd have to take one off to see, but I'm pretty sure they're 100 grains. The length on these are, let's see, I don't think I can get, nah, I'll just stay centered here. So the length on these are gonna be, they're 497 grains, so they're pretty heavy arrow. The length on them is gonna be 31 inches from the, well, if you want to go Knock Valley, we'll say 31 and a half. So about 31 and a half inches from the Knock Valley to where the point would dead end in the shaft. So they're pretty long too. So if I wanted to, I could probably throw like a 125 on here and trim down just a little bit to shorten the arrow a little bit and get a little weight off of them if I wanted to. If I wanted to get that point on from say 21 to closer to the 25, which I may, we'll see going forward how forgiving this is on an actual course. In the backyard, it's real easy to find forgiveness and find the answers that you want, but you put pressure to it and it's a different thing. That's kind of why I did it on camera, just to make sure that what I was seeing was what was really happening. So my 39 pounds with 497 grain arrows, 31 and a half inches long, gives me, with that anchor you seen, gives me 21-ish yard point on, hold 25 yards just at the top of the insert, just out of the top of the insert, but not as high as the back. 15 yards was bottom of the 10 ring. That is excellent for forgiveness on a 3D target when you're trying to score really good scores. I was always really intrigued at how these guys could shoot gaps so well. And it's not that I had lacked the talent or the shootability. I just lacked the setup. My setup was killing me for score. So I'm gonna shoot this the remainder of the 3D season and just see what I can do with it. I know the Whiskey City Classic is coming up, and I would love to give old Kenny Jordan a run for his money in longbow. So we'll see what we can do with it. But anyway, I'm going to put this video out on YouTube. I appreciate your support. Subscribe and share it if you want to. And we'll see you on the next video. Y'all shoot straight. God bless.